We must see where we are today, look at the excitement for the future, but we must look back.
Today, we answer the question, how does celebrating heritage benefit communities? But before we do so, let's take a look at the Kirkland House. The home was built by John Brown Elliott in 1910 for William Kirkland, fourth son of pioneers John and Letitia Kirkland. The house is located on 4140 Arthur Drive, Delta, BC.
We try to look at any of the buildings that we have remaining today and try somehow to protect them. The best way, of course, is to have them in private ownership so people look after them and love them and cherish them and keep them as an heritage site.
The Kirkland House and its grounds are currently owned by the Corporation of Delta, but the site has been restored by the Kirkland House Foundation, a non-profit organization who has been restoring and maintaining the site since 1993.
What I did was say, look, is there anything we can do to get this, a piece of this property? We don't want the whole site. It was in the Agricultural Land Commission, Land Reserve, still is. And they just don't lop off pieces of property. However, we very carefully went forward and found a piece of property on Anisha Island that we knew the developer would trade almost across. So we put the proposal to them. They were very open to it. We went to the Agricultural Land Commission and they said, okay.
Now the house serves as a venue for parties, weddings, and a meeting spot for local groups. The Kirkland House makes the community of Delta more ideal because when people go and see and visit the site, they learn how the Kirklands used to live. This helps bring the citizens of Delta together through the shared understanding of the unique cultural identity that the Kirkland House gives to Delta.
But if you actually go there and you look and wonder how they got their water, and when you're on the fourth floor, well, where's the washroom? Well, dear, it's outside up back.
Yeah.
So these are some of the things that I think are important to understand as well. What really was happening at that time and how people really managed, particularly in Canada, and how hard the people had to work just to keep bread on the table.
Although the house is not directly related to any event, it is still important to acknowledge what was going on at the time of the Kirklands. The province of BC had only been established 2 years prior to the family moving to British Columbia. This meant that new industries were just beginning to expand and new infrastructure was just being built. In other words, the Lower Mainland was developing into what it is today. So how does celebrating heritage benefit communities? Well, I personally believe that when you celebrate heritage, you see and learn different things from different people. When young people in particular celebrate heritage, they are exposed to an array of different cultures and belief systems. This exposure leads to our youth being more open-minded. By our youth having this trait, it means that they will be more respectful of other people's opinions. This will overall benefit the community of Delta.
We see all the crazy cars going by and multiple family dwellings, and now we've got a 36-story one in Delta. And this is the hustle bustle of today, 2017. You go to a house like that, and there is an aura about these homes, and it's kind of a quiet part of people viewing what they think to be our history. It's for all ages, from the very little ones to the senior ones that say, I remember that. Mm-hmm. My grandmother had one of those.
Yeah.
And those are the stories that we don't hear, but in my opinion, we should be talking about those stories.